short preganglionic fibers, and the
Sympathetic
preganglionic
neurons.
fibers are going to release acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter. Okay, so they release acetylcholine from the short preganglionic fibers, and they will release norepinephrine from the ends of the long postganglionic fibers onto whatever the structure is. And so if we look at how the sympathetic nerves affect the heart, it's going to be releasing norepinephrine onto the pacemaker of the heart. And that will cause the heart rate to accelerate or speed up. If we put acetylcholine onto the pacemaker of the heart, acetylcholine will be released from the postganglionic neurons. Right, we're talking about it slows the heartbeat. So acetylcholine is being released from the postganglionic neurons. And that means that if we put drops of acetylcholine directly onto the heart, it's going to slow down the heartbeat. But that's what the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves normally do. All right, one last point, and I'll call it a day. The only way to make sense out of what the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves do is to look at it in the context of what's called the fight or flight response. All right, so in general, sympathetic nerves dominate whenever you're stressed out. An extreme form of being stressed out is when you're in a sudden emergency, then you get a big sympathetic response, dumping norepinephrine out onto its tissues. Okay? Now, so during stress, if you were frightened all of a sudden, your sympathetic nerves automatically will start releasing more noradrenaline onto these various structures. All right? So you're walking across the street and, on the cell phone, not paying attention. And all of a sudden you hear brakes screech, okay, and the car is this close to you. The sympathetic nervous system kicks into effect right away. The adrenaline is flowing. Another name for norepinephrine is to call it noradrenaline, okay? And so what will happen? Automatically, the pupils of your eyes will dilate, get bigger. All the better to see what's going on, okay? What do you think would happen to your heart rate? It's going to start pounding to send more blood to the arms in case you want to fight, or to the legs in case you want to run. That's why this is called a fight or flight response, okay? Automatically. All right. Sympathetic nerves during that stressful moment will inhibit the salivary gland secretions. That's why your mouth gets dry during an emergency. If you got to fight, somebody jumped out of the bushes at you. All right, you don't want to choke on your saliva. That's how it works. Okay. Heartbeat speeds up. Where do you need the blood to go during this emergency? Let's say somebody jumped out of the bushes all of a sudden.
Your legs.
You were just playing.
Your legs.
Okay, so where do you want the most resources to go? To your arms in case you want to fight, and to your legs in case you want to run. It's done automatically. That's what the fight or flight reflex is.
What about a heart attack? Where would that be?
you know, it could be triggered by too much stress, but it happens over a long period of time. Sometimes the heart gets blocked. So when you try to stress it during an emergency, that's where the weakness shows up. And you might burst an artery in the heart.
So would that be
What?
under, would that be under sympathetic or parasympathetic?
The sympathetic nerves will cause the heart to try to beat faster and stronger. Okay, yeah. Okay, so just to finish this up, you could look at any of these when you read the textbook. Look at all of these things. And so when the emergency is passed, then the parasympathetic nerves will bring everything back to normal. All right? To get more, let me back up. I started talking about fight or flight. So during an emergency, all your resources want to go to the arm muscles and the leg muscles. How does that happen? Well, the blood vessels in the arm will have to dilate to let more blood come into the arms. That blood comes from somewhere. There's only a fixed amount of blood. Where's it coming from? Well, the blood vessels in the gut region will constrict. That way more blood can go to the arms, less blood to the arms and legs to either fight or run. Less blood will go to the gut and whatever. All right? And to return things back to normal, the parasympathetic nerves will now do just the opposite. So when you're relaxed, more blood will go to the digestive tract. Less blood will go to the arms and legs, all right, than during stress. So the parasympathetic nerves bring everything back to normal. They counteract the sympathetic nerve. They predominate during rest and recuperation, the parasympathetic nerves. Okay, so you got the overall organization of the nervous system. And we can call it a day at this point if there are no more questions.